The mysterious signal on. A quiet night in a busy research lab, Dr. Emily Carter, an astrophysicist, stared at her computer screen with a mix of curiosity and disbelief. The lab, filled with high-tech equipment and glowing monitors, was normally a haven for science and data. Tonight, however, it was buzzing with the discovery of an unusual signal from deep space. "Emily, come over here," called Dr. Raj Patel, a fellow scientist and her close colleague. His voice was tense, and Emily could sense the urgency. She hurried over to his workstation, where he pointed at a complex series of waves on his screen. "Look at this. We've picked up something strange." Emily scrutinized the signal. It was unlike anything they had seen before. The pattern was repetitive, but it had an odd rhythm, like a message trying to communicate. She frowned, trying to make sense of it. This looks like a structured signal, not just random noise. It could be an attempt at communication. The room fell silent as other scientists gathered around, their eyes wide with interest. The signal had come from an unknown source in the galaxy, and it was strong. The team's excitement was palpable, but so was the unease. They had been tracking signals from space for years, but nothing had ever seemed so deliberate. Dr. Patel's fingers flew over the keyboard as he worked to decode the message. The signal had been received in bursts, each one different from the last. It wasn't long before they had a rough translation. The message was simple but alarming. "We are coming. Prepare!" The words hit like a cold wave. The lab's chatter turned into anxious whispers. Emily's mind raced. Who were they? And why were they coming? She exchanged worried glances with Dr. Patel and the other scientists. This wasn't just a technical anomaly, it was a warning. "We need to alert the authorities," Emily said firmly. Dr. Patel nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. They quickly contacted the military and government officials, explaining the situation as best as they could. As the hours passed, the initial shock wore off, replaced by a flurry of activity. In a secure briefing room, General Thomas Williams listened carefully to the scientist's report. His face was stern, his mind working through the implications of this discovery. "So you're saying that this signal is a direct threat?" he asked, his voice calm but serious. "Yes, General," Emily replied. "The signal's clarity and structure suggest it's a warning from an advanced civilization. We don't know their intentions, but their message was clear. They are coming." The general nodded slowly, processing the information. "We need to take this seriously. Prepare a detailed report for the President and our international allies. We may be facing a threat we haven't seen before." As the day turned into night, the news of the signal spread quickly. The media picked up the story, and headlines around the world reported the mysterious message from space. The public's reaction was a mix of fear and fascination. People speculated about the nature of the aliens and what they wanted. Governments and military forces around the world began to prepare for the worst. Back in the research lab, Emily and Dr. Patel worked tirelessly to analyze the signal further. They hoped to uncover more details about the aliens and their capabilities. They ran simulations and used every tool at their disposal, but the message remained cryptic. The only certainty was that the aliens were coming. As the days passed, the tension mounted. Governments convened emergency meetings to discuss their response. Earth's top military leaders began to strategize, and scientists worked around the clock to find any additional clues. The once peaceful lab was now a hub of intense activity and worry. Emily sat in her office, staring out the window at the city lights. The calm night seemed surreal against the backdrop of impending danger. She thought about her family, her friends, and the world she knew. The uncertainty of the situation weighed heavily on her mind. What kind of beings were these aliens? What did they want? And most importantly, how could humanity prepare for an unknown threat? In the briefing room, General Williams and his team discussed the possible SC, scenarios and responses. They debated the best course of action and how to protect Earth from this potential invasion. It was clear that they needed more information, but time was running short. The aliens' message was a stark reminder that humanity was not alone in the universe. As the hours ticked by, the world held its breath. The mysterious signal had set in motion a series of events that would test humanity's resolve and readiness. The unknown alien threat loomed large, and the response to this cosmic warning would shape the future of Earth. Emily and her colleagues continued their work, knowing that the fate of their planet might hinge on the success of their efforts. They remained hopeful that they could uncover more about the aliens and find a way to protect Earth. The signal had been a wake-up call, and now humanity had to awe the Galactic Council's reaction. The Galactic Council was a grand assembly of various alien species, representing the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Located in the heart of the Andromeda Galaxy, the Council's headquarters was a massive, floating citadel surrounded by shimmering lights and advanced technology. It was here that the fate of many worlds was debated and decided. As the message from Earth reached the Council, it sparked a flurry of activity within the Grand Hall. The Council members, a diverse group of beings with different shapes, sizes, and colors, gathered in their meeting chamber. Each species had its own unique way of expressing concern or excitement, and today their reactions were a mix of skepticism and curiosity. High Chancellor Zorath, a tall, imposing figure with a deep, resonant voice, called the meeting to order. His presence commanded respect, and his words carried weight among the council members. "We have received a communication from a primitive planet called Earth. They claim that an alien force is coming to invade them. The message is alarming, but we must consider its credibility." The room buzzed with whispers and murmurs. The representative from the Krill, a race of reptilian beings known for their strategic minds, spoke first. "Earth is known to be a relatively young and technologically limited civilization. Why should we take their warning seriously?" The Yalari representative, a shimmering being of pure energy, responded calmly. "We must not dismiss this so quickly. Even if Earth is primitive, the signal was clear and structured. It might be a genuine warning. We should investigate further." Chancellor Zorath nodded thoughtfully. "Very well. We will send a delegation to Earth to assess the situation. However, we must remain cautious. It could be a trick or a false alarm." Meanwhile, on Earth, the situation was becoming increasingly tense. Governments around the world were on high alert, preparing for a potential conflict. The scientists and military leaders continued their work, hoping to gain more insights into the alien threat. Back at the Galactic Council, the delegation was assembled. It consisted of representatives from several prominent species, including the Krill, the Yalari, and the Vorta, a race of highly intelligent beings with a reputation for diplomacy. Their mission was to visit Earth, evaluate the threat, and report back to the Council. The delegation's ship, a sleek, advanced vessel, departed from the Council's citadel and traveled across the galaxy at incredible speeds. As they approached Earth, the alien visitors observed the planet from orbit. Their advanced sensors detected the heightened activity and defensive measures being taken by humanity. Upon landing, the delegation was greeted by Earth's top officials and scientists. The meeting was held in a secure facility designed to accommodate both human and alien representatives. The atmosphere was tense as the visitors prepared to present their findings. The Krill representative, a stern-looking figure with sharp, angular features, addressed the gathering. "We have examined Earth's preparations and their claim of an impending invasion. Our initial assessment suggests that while their technology is limited, they are taking substantial measures to defend themselves. However, we have not found concrete evidence of an actual threat." The Yalari representative, glowing softly, added, "The signal was indeed structured and deliberate. It is possible that Earth has intercepted a message intended for another species or has misunderstood the nature of the threat. Nevertheless, we cannot ignore their readiness and the possibility that they may be in genuine danger." The Vorta representative, known for their diplomatic skills, spoke next. "Given the uncertainty, it is important that we approach this matter with care. We should consider the potential impact of an invasion on Earth and the broader galaxy. If Earth is in danger, we have a responsibility to ensure their survival, even if it means reassessing our own strategies." General Thomas Williams, representing Earth's military, listened intently to the delegation's report. He was both relieved and frustrated by the lack of concrete answers. "So, you're saying that while the threat might be real, there's no definite proof of an impending invasion?" The Krill representative nodded. "Correct. Our findings are inconclusive. However, the heightened readiness of Earth suggests that they are taking this very seriously. We recommend maintaining open communication with Earth and providing support as needed. The meeting concluded with a mixed sense of relief and uncertainty. The Galactic Council decided to keep a close watch on Earth and continue monitoring the situation. They also agreed to offer limited assistance to help Earth prepare for any potential threat. As the delegation returned to their ship and left Earth's atmosphere, the Council members continued their debate. Some argued that the warning was a genuine concern, while others believed it was a false alarm or a miscommunication. Back on Earth, the news of the delegation's visit spread quickly. People were hopeful that the aliens' assessment might bring some clarity. The government and military continued their preparations, but there was a growing sense of unease. What if the aliens were right, and a real threat was indeed on the way? In the Galactic Council's citadel, Chancellor Zorath looked out at the vastness of space, pondering the implications of the Earth's message. The galaxy was a complex and unpredictable place, and the warning from a distant planet had added a new layer of uncertainty to their already intricate affairs. As the days passed, the Council and Earth both braced for whatever might come next. The mysterious signal had set the stage for a galactic drama that would test the resolve and preparedness of both civilizations. The waiting game had begun, and the universe watched with bated breath. Earth as secret preparations. As the Galactic Council debated the legitimacy of the warning from Earth, the planet's leaders were quietly ramping up their preparations. Despite the uncertainty and lack of definitive evidence, the possibility of an alien invasion had set off a wave of covert activity across Earth. Governments and military forces around the globe were working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure they were ready for any potential threat. In a hidden underground facility known only to a few high-ranking officials, a team of engineers and scientists was hard at work. The facility was located deep within a mountain range, designed to be virtually invisible from above. Inside, the hum of machinery and the glow of computer screens filled the air. The team was focused on building advanced defense systems to protect Earth from any alien attack. Dr. Lisa Bennett, a leading aerospace engineer, oversaw the development of new weapons and defense technologies. Her team was working on creating a powerful energy shield capable of repelling alien spacecraft. The shield needed to be both durable and flexible, able to withstand attacks from various angles. Dr. Bennett's eyes were tired but determined as she reviewed the test results. The pressure to deliver a functional defense system weighed heavily on her shoulders. "We're getting close," Dr. Bennett said, her voice steady despite her exhaustion. "The prototype shield has passed most of the tests. We just need to fine-tune the energy modulation." Her team nodded, pushing forward with renewed vigor. Every member knew the importance of their task. They were not just working on advanced technology, they were preparing to defend their planet from an unknown enemy. Meanwhile, in a high-security military base, General Thomas Williams was coordinating Earth's defense strategy. The base was buzzing with activity as soldiers and officers prepared for the worst-case scenario. New training programs were implemented, focusing on combat scenarios involving alien technology. Soldiers practiced using the new weapon systems and simulated battles with advanced virtual reality setups. General Williams walked through the base, observing the intense training exercises. His mind was focused on the possible strategies they might need to employ. "We have to be ready for anything," he told his officers. "We don't know the capabilities of these aliens, so our training must cover every possible situation." In addition to preparing military forces, Earth's leaders were also working to secure alliances with other nations. They understood that a united front would be stronger against any potential invader. Secret meetings were held between world leaders to share information and coordinate their response. The goal was to present a unified defense that would deter any alien force from attempting an invasion. At the same time, intelligence agencies were on high alert, monitoring any unusual activity in space and on Earth. Satellites were upgraded with advanced sensors to detect any approaching spacecraft or unusual signals. Ground-based observatories increased their scanning capabilities, keeping a close watch on the sky for any signs of alien activity. Despite the secrecy surrounding these preparations, there were occasional leaks to the public, Rumors of an impending alien invasion spread, leading to widespread fear and speculation. People discussed the possibility of extraterrestrial visitors, with many trying to make sense of the situation. Some organized community preparedness events, while others sought solace in their local leaders and experts. Back in the hidden facility, Dr. Bennett's team completed the final tests of the energy shield. The results were promising, and the shield was ready for deployment. The next step was to install it around key military bases and strategic locations across the globe. The shield would provide an additional layer of protection, helping to ensure that Earth's defenses could hold strong against any potential attack. As the shield installations progressed, scientists continued to work on other technologies. They developed advanced detection systems to identify alien spacecraft and enhance communication methods to ensure Earth could coordinate its defense effectively. Research was also conducted on potential alien weaknesses, using the limited data they had gathered. In a secure command center, General Williams reviewed the latest reports and plans. The sense of urgency was palpable as he prepared for a possible confrontation. He knew that Earth's defense was not just about technology, it was also about the will and resolve of its people. The preparations were meant to instill confidence and readiness. But the true test would come if and when the aliens arrived. The days turned into weeks, and the anticipation grew. The unknown alien threat loomed on the horizon, casting a shadow over Earth. The secrecy surrounding the preparations ensured that the general public remained unaware of the full extent of the efforts being made. However, the preparations continued, driven by the belief that being ready was the best defense against the unknown. As the final touches were put on the defense systems and the military drills reached their peak, Earth stood on the brink of a potential conflict. The planet's leaders, scientists, and military personnel had done everything in their power to prepare for the worst. They hoped their efforts would be enough to protect their world from the alien threat. The preparation period was a time of both tension and determination. Earth's defenders were ready and their resolve was unshakable. The stage was set for whatever might come next, and the world held its breath, waiting to see if their preparations would prove to be sufficient. The countdown to the unknown had begun, and humanity was ready to face the challenge. Alien Scouts' first encounter. In the vast expanse of space, the alien scouts approached Earth's orbit with cautious precision. Their sleek, dark spacecraft, designed for stealth and reconnaissance, glided silently through the cosmos. The scouts were a part of the advance team sent by their civilization, tasked with gathering information on the newly discovered planet and assessing its defenses. The lead scout, Commander Krell, was a formidable figure with a sharp, angular visage and eyes that glowed faintly in the darkness. His species, the Drakari, were known for their advanced technology and strategic acumen. Krell's mission was critical. He had to ensure that their civilization was well prepared for the main fleet's arrival. As the scout's ship entered Earth's orbit, they activated their sensors and began scanning the planet. The data came in waves, revealing a world teeming with life and activity. Krell studied the information carefully, noting the increased military activity and the newly deployed defense systems. His superior, High Chancellor Zorath, had been clear: gather as much information as possible without revealing their presence. The scout's ship hovered above a remote area, away from major cities and military bases. Krell directed his crew to initiate a stealth landing on the planet's surface. They chose a dense forest as their landing site, hoping to avoid detection. The ship's landing gear touched down silently, and the crew disembarked, clad in advanced camouflage suits that blended seamlessly with their surroundings. Krell and his team moved with practiced precision through the forest, their footsteps nearly silent on the soft ground. They set up a temporary base of operations, using advanced equipment to monitor and record the planet's defenses. Their goal was to assess the effectiveness of Earth's preparations and gather intelligence on the possible alien threat. Back on Earth, the increased satellite and sensor activity had not gone unnoticed. Dr. Lisa Bennett, who was overseeing the installation of new defense systems, had received a series of alerts indicating unusual readings from space. The data showed an unidentified object entering and remaining in a low orbit. She immediately notified General Thomas Williams and his team. General Williams gathered his staff for an urgent briefing. "We've detected an unidentified craft in low orbit. It's not one of our satellites or known spacecraft. We need to investigate immediately." The military dispatched a squadron of fighter jets to investigate the anomaly. The jets were equipped with advanced radar and tracking systems designed to detect and intercept potential threats. As the jets ascended into the sky, they scanned the area where the unidentified craft was last detected. Meanwhile, the alien scouts continued their surveillance. Krell observed the fighter jets from a distance, noting their speed and maneuverability. He was impressed by the technological advancements but remained focused on his mission. The scouts had managed to avoid detection so far, but they knew they were walking a fine line. They adjusted their equipment to minimize any possible signals that could give away their location. As the fighter jets conducted their search, they flew close to the area where the scouts were hidden. Krell's team monitored the jets' movements and adjusted their camouflage to remain undetected. The tension was palpable as the jets flew over the forest, their powerful engines roaring through the trees. For a moment, it seemed like their cover might be blown. One of the fighter pilots, Lieutenant Sarah Johnson, was on high alert. She had spotted something unusual on her radar, a faint but persistent signal coming from the forest below. She relayed the information to her command center, which instructed her to continue searching while they analyzed the data. Back in the forest, Krell's team held their breath as the jets passed overhead. They quickly resumed their mission, gathering as much data as they could. Krell knew that their time was running out. They had to collect sufficient intelligence before they were forced to retreat. As the fighter jets completed their search and returned to base, Krell's team finished their analysis. They had gathered valuable information about Earth's defensive systems and military capabilities. The data would be crucial for their civilization's planning and preparation for the upcoming invasion. The scouts prepared to leave, ensuring that their presence remained undetected. Krell's ship lifted off silently from the forest floor and ascended into orbit. The crew worked quickly to erase any traces of their landing, leaving no evidence of their visit behind. Back at Earth's military command center, General Williams and his team reviewed the data from the fighter jets. While the search had not revealed any conclusive evidence of an alien presence, the unusual signal from the forest was a cause for concern. They decided to increase their surveillance and monitoring efforts in the area. As the alien scouts returned to their mothership, Krell reported to High Chancellor Zorath. He provided a detailed briefing on their findings, highlighting Earth's advanced defenses and the potential challenges they would face. The Chancellor listened attentively, his expression thoughtful. "This information will be valuable for our strategy," Zorath said. "We must proceed with caution. Our next steps will be crucial in determining how we approach Earth. Ensure that our main fleet is prepared for any eventuality." The alien scouts' mission had provided critical insights into Earth's defenses and military readiness. As they continued their journey back to their home planet, the tension between the two civilizations remained high. Earth was on edge, preparing for a potential invasion, while the alien scouts had laid the groundwork for their civilization's next moves. The stage was set for a high-stakes confrontation, and both sides were gearing up for what lay ahead. The first encounter between Earth and the alien scouts had set the tone for an unfolding drama that would test the limits of both civilizations. The unknown had become a reality, and the galaxy watched as the two worlds prepared for their next move. Doubts in the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council convened once more in their grand citadel, a luminous structure floating in the depths of space. The council members, a diverse assembly of alien representatives, gathered to discuss the latest. High Chancellor Zorath presided over the meeting, his gaze sweeping across the room. The council members, each representing their own advanced civilizations, were deep in thought. The tension was palpable as they prepared to deliberate on the next steps. "I have received the latest report from our scouts," Zorath began, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Commander Krell's team has gathered substantial information about Earth's defenses. They have observed increased military activity and advanced technologies. The representative from the Axii, a race of aquatic beings known for their logical minds, spoke first. The data indicates that Earth is taking significant measures to defend itself. However, the report also suggests that the threat may not be as imminent as we initially thought. A member of the Corps, a race of small, insect-like creatures with a talent for diplomacy, interjected. While Earth's defenses are noteworthy, we must consider that the information we have is incomplete. The scouts' observations were limited and did not provide a full picture of the situation. The room buzzed with murmurs of agreement and disagreement. Some members felt that Earth's response was overblown and that the threat was exaggerated. Others argued that the Council should proceed with caution, given the potential risks involved. Chancellor Zorath raised a hand to restore order. We must decide whether to proceed with our planned invasion or reconsider our approach. There are valid concerns on both sides. We need a clear strategy moving forward. The representative from the Vortan, a race known for their strategic prowess, voiced their concerns. We have to question the reliability of the Scouts' report. Earth's technology is primitive compared to ours. It is possible that their defenses are not as advanced as they appear. Alternatively, they could be preparing for an attack that does not exist. A series of nods and whispers followed this statement. The skepticism about the Scouts' findings was growing. The uncertainty about Earth's true capabilities made it difficult for the Council to reach a consensus. In a quieter corner of the chamber, the representative from the Alara, a race of telepathic beings, shared a private exchange with Zorath. Chancellor, I sense doubt among the Council members. Many are questioning the validity of the Scouts' findings. It might be wise to conduct further investigations before making a final decision. Zorath nodded thoughtfully. Indeed. It is crucial that we make an informed decision. I will propose that we send a second independent team to Earth to verify the information and assess the situation more thoroughly. The Council members agreed to this proposal, albeit with varying degrees of enthusiasm. Some were relieved by the idea of further investigation, while others were impatient to proceed with their plans. The debate continued, reflecting the wide range of opinions within the Council. As the meeting adjourned, Zorath issued orders for the deployment of a second team of scouts. This new team was tasked with conducting a more detailed and comprehensive survey of Earth's defenses. The goal was to provide a clearer picture of the planet's preparedness and to address any discrepancies in the previous report. On Earth, the situation remained tense. The increased monitoring and surveillance were becoming more intense, with military and intelligence agencies on high alert. The knowledge that their preparations were under scrutiny added another layer of pressure to an already fraught atmosphere. Back at the Galactic Council's headquarters, the second team of scouts prepared for their mission. The team was composed of specialists with expertise in reconnaissance and intelligence gathering. They were equipped with advanced technology designed to penetrate Earth's defenses and gather detailed information without detection. As the scouts' ship departed for Earth, the Council continued to debate the implications of their findings. Some members argued for immediate action based on the preliminary data, while others urged caution and further investigation. The uncertainty was reflected in the Council's decision-making process, as they struggled to balance their strategic interests with the need for accurate information. In the depths of space, the new team of scouts approached Earth with a sense of urgency. They knew that their mission was critical in determining the fate of the impending invasion. Their advanced equipment and expertise would be put to the test as they conducted their investigation. The outcome of their mission would play a key role in shaping the Council's next move. The doubts and disagreements within the Council highlighted the complexity of the situation. The fate of Earth and the future of interstellar relations hung in the balance as both sides prepared for the challenges ahead. As the second team of scouts began their work, the Galactic Council remained divided. The tension between the need for decisive action and the desire for thorough investigation was palpable. The galaxy watched with bated breath, awaiting the results that would determine the next chapter in the unfolding drama between Earth and the alien civilizations. The stakes were high, and the uncertainties were significant. The Galactic Council's decision would have far-reaching consequences, shaping the course of events and influencing the future of both Earth and the galaxy at large. Earth's final warning. As the second team of alien scouts carried out their detailed investigation on Earth, the tension reached a boiling point. The Galactic Council's indecision and the mounting uncertainty were taking their toll. Meanwhile, Earth's leaders, aware that their preparations might not be enough to dissuade the impending invasion, decided to make one last, bold move. In a high-level meeting held in a secure underground command center, General Thomas Williams and Dr. Lisa Bennett discussed their next steps. The information gathered from the scouts had confirmed their worst fears. The alien forces were serious about their plans. It was clear that the Galactic Council was still deliberating, and Earth needed to act decisively to ensure their message was heard. "We've done everything we can to prepare," General Williams said, his voice heavy with determination. "But we need to make sure the Galactic Council understands that we are not to be underestimated. We need to issue a final warning to show them that we are ready for whatever comes." Dr. Bennett nodded in agreement. "We should use every means at our disposal to broadcast our message. We need to make it clear that Earth is prepared and that any attempt to invade will be met with strong resistance." The plan was set in motion quickly. Earth's top engineers and communication experts worked around the clock to create a powerful transmission. They designed a message that would be sent directly into space, using a combination of electromagnetic pulses and high-energy signals to ensure it reached the Galactic Council's headquarters. The message was a bold declaration of Earth's readiness. It detailed the advanced defenses they had deployed, including the energy shields and newly developed weapons systems. It also included a stern warning: any attempt to invade would result in a fierce and unwavering response. The message was crafted to be unmistakable and to convey the seriousness of their preparations. As the final transmission was prepared, a sense of urgency filled the command center. The message was transmitted through various channels to ensure it reached its destination. The technicians monitored the process closely, making sure that the signal was strong and clear. At the Galactic Council's headquarters, the transmission was received with great interest. The council members gathered to review the message. The high-energy signal had penetrated their advanced communication systems, and the content was being analyzed. High Chancellor Zorath examined the message carefully. His eyes narrowed as he read the detailed account of Earth's defenses and the stern warning that accompanied it. The message was clear and forceful, designed to leave no room for doubt. "This transmission is a direct challenge," Zorath said, his voice reflecting a mix of concern and respect. "Earth is not just prepared, they are declaring their readiness to defend their planet with everything they have." The council members exchanged uneasy glances. The seriousness of Earth's warning was undeniable, and it added a new layer of complexity to their decision-making process. Some members began to question whether an invasion was worth the risk. The possibility of a costly and prolonged conflict was now a significant consideration. The representative from the Corps, known for their diplomatic skills, spoke up. "This message changes everything. We must reconsider our approach. Earth's defenses are more formidable than we anticipated, and their resolve is clear. An invasion could lead to a prolonged and costly conflict." The debate among the council members intensified. Some argued for immediate action, believing that the threat must be neutralized before it grows any stronger. Others advocated for a diplomatic solution, suggesting that the warning might be a chance to negotiate and avoid unnecessary conflict. In the midst of the debate, the representative from the Alara, the telepathic beings, shared a telepathic impression with Zorath. The message from Earth, while firm, also conveyed a sense of urgency and fear. The Alara sensed that the message was not just a threat, but also a desperate plea for peace. Zorath considered this insight carefully. He realized that the Galactic Council faced a critical decision. They could either proceed with the invasion and risk a protracted conflict, or explore diplomatic channels to resolve the situation. The Council's choice would determine the future of interstellar relations and the fate of Earth. As the Council meeting continued, Zorath proposed a new course of action. "Given the seriousness of Earth's warning and the potential consequences of an invasion, I suggest we explore diplomatic negotiations. We should reach out to Earth's leaders and seek a peaceful resolution. We need to understand their perspective and find a way to address our concerns without resorting to conflict. The council members were divided, but Zorath's proposal gained support from those who favored diplomacy. The decision was made to initiate contact with Earth's leaders and begin negotiations. The goal was to address the concerns of both sides and find a mutually acceptable solution. Back on Earth, the leaders awaited a response from the Galactic Council. The final warning had been delivered, and now they hoped that their message would lead to meaningful dialogue. The next steps would be crucial in determining the outcome of the crisis. The situation remained tense, but the prospect of diplomacy offered a glimmer of hope. Both sides were preparing for the possibility of negotiations, understanding that the future of interstellar relations and the fate of their worlds depended on the decisions they would make. As the galaxy watched, the stage was set for a new chapter in the unfolding drama between Earth and the Galactic Council. The final warning had been issued, and the path forward would be determined by the willingness of both sides to seek a peaceful resolution. The turning point. The tension in the Galactic Council's citadel was at its peak. The decision to either proceed with an invasion or seek diplomatic negotiations weighed heavily on the council members. Earth's final warning had sent ripples through the galaxy, and the stakes had never been higher. High Chancellor Zorath, having proposed diplomatic negotiations, awaited a response from Earth's leaders. The atmosphere within the council chamber was a mix of apprehension and cautious optimism. The council members were eager to hear how Earth's leaders would react to the proposal for peace talks. Back on Earth, General Thomas Williams and Dr. Lisa Bennett were both relieved and anxious. The possibility of negotiations offered a glimmer of hope, but they were wary of the Galactic Council's intentions. They had prepared extensively for a potential conflict, but they also recognized the value of diplomacy in avoiding unnecessary bloodshed. The Galactic Council's proposal for negotiations was communicated through a secure channel to Earth's command center. The message was clear. The Council was willing to discuss a peaceful resolution to the crisis. It was a significant shift from their previous stance of impending invasion. General Williams and Dr. Bennett convened an urgent meeting with their top advisors. The room was filled with maps, communication devices, and military experts, all focused on the potential for peace. "This is our chance to avoid a full-scale war," Dr. Bennett said, her voice steady but filled with determination. "We need to make sure we approach these negotiations carefully. Our goal is to secure our planet's safety while also exploring any opportunities for a peaceful resolution." General Williams nodded. "Agreed. We need to show that we are open to dialogue but also prepared to defend ourselves if necessary. Let's draft a response that emphasizes our willingness to negotiate, but also makes it clear that we will not back down from our defenses." The response was crafted with careful consideration. It expressed Earth's openness to engage in diplomatic talks and outlined their conditions for negotiation. The message was sent back to the Galactic Council, setting the stage for the upcoming discussions. The Council received Earth's response with a mixture of relief and anticipation. The prospect of negotiating rather than engaging in conflict was welcomed by many members. The representative from the Corps, who had advocated for diplomacy from the start, expressed satisfaction with the development. "This is a positive step," the Corps representative said. "It shows that both sides are willing to find common ground. We must now ensure that the negotiations are conducted with the seriousness and respect they deserve." The Galactic Council decided to convene a special committee to oversee the negotiations. The committee was composed of representatives from various races, each bringing their own expertise and perspectives to the table. Their mission was to facilitate a constructive dialogue between Earth and the Council. The negotiations were set to take place at a neutral location, chosen for its neutrality and security. The site was a space station orbiting a distant moon, designed to provide a safe and impartial environment for the discussions. As the date for the negotiations approached, both Earth and the Galactic Council prepared for the talks. Earth's delegation was led by General Williams and Dr. Bennett, who were chosen for their experience and diplomatic skills. The Galactic Council's committee was headed by Zorath and included representatives from several key member races. The first meeting of the negotiations began with a formal exchange of greetings and statements. The atmosphere was tense, but respectful, as both sides prepared to address the issues at hand. Zorath opened the discussion. "We appreciate Earth's willingness to engage in negotiations. Our goal is to understand your position and explore potential solutions that can benefit both sides. Let us begin by discussing the concerns that led to the current situation." General Williams responded, his tone measured and firm. "We have always sought to ensure the safety and security of our planet. The final warning we issued was intended to make it clear that we are prepared to defend ourselves if necessary. We are open to discussing any issues and finding a peaceful resolution." Dr. Bennett added, "We believe that a mutual understanding and cooperation can be achieved. Our priority is to address any misunderstandings and work towards a solution that respects both our concerns and the Galactic Council's objectives." The discussions proceeded with a focus on addressing the key issues, Earth's defenses, the nature of the alien threat, and the potential for future cooperation. Both sides presented their viewpoints and concerns, working through the complexities of interstellar diplomacy. As the negotiations progressed, it became evident that there were areas of common ground. Both Earth and the Galactic Council shared a desire to avoid conflict and establish a framework for peaceful coexistence. The challenge was finding a way to address their respective concerns while building mutual trust. The turning point came when the Galactic Council agreed to consider Earth's proposed measures for security and cooperation. In return, Earth was willing to offer assurances regarding their defensive posture and explore opportunities for joint ventures in space exploration and research. The atmosphere in the negotiation chamber shifted from tension to cautious optimism. The willingness of both sides to compromise and find common ground marked a significant step forward. The negotiations were far from over, but the progress made was a hopeful sign of the potential for peace. As the first round of negotiations concluded, General Williams and Dr. Bennett felt a renewed sense of hope. The possibility of resolving the crisis without resorting to conflict was within reach. They prepared for the next round of talks, determined to build on the progress made and continue working towards a peaceful resolution. The turning point in the negotiations had set the stage for a new chapter in the relationship between Earth and the Galactic Council. Both sides faced the challenge of navigating the complexities of diplomacy and finding a way to coexist peacefully. The future of their worlds depended on the success of these discussions and the commitment of both parties to achieving a lasting peace.